Okay, fresh off the table read, which I hope recorded in OBS and also in the Zoom meeting. Um, at some point, I don't know if I'll make the whole thing available or maybe just take some excerpts. I'm not sure how best to do that. So, immediate overall impressions is that you're not getting a full performance out of everyone, and Christine did a great job. I knew she would. Sky, very very promising. Getting the character Grant as Bubsy. He has barely even looked at the script or worked on the dialect, but he is he's going to be great. And the people we had doing the small parts, Laura as Nan and Emily as Brenda, if they're able to make the shoot, I know they'll be good. And then Brett and Reese as Lane and Josh. We talked little afterwards, and really, Lane can deliver his lines in so many different ways. That's really going to be interesting and sort of a key. As I told them, he does so much talking, but he has so little expression in his nature. And Josh, of course, has nothing to say until very late in the script. And so he is doing it all with his facial expressions, which is going to be interesting. So how do I feel about it? I felt good about it. I laughed at some parts. I had my mic off so they wouldn't hear me, but I laughed. I made a few little notes, a few little corrections, some dialogue things. When you do a table read, it's mostly for the dialogue and not for the action. So a lot of the stuff, especially as the script goes on, is very much weighted to the visuals. And so you really get no feel of that. And because of the time constraints we had, those sort of got skipped through anyways. So that part of it is hard to judge. Summary. How about a summary, Jack? A summary. At one point, I don't know how far in it was, and I felt like, it's hard because Lane, the character that Brett's playing, has very little emotion, and so it almost sounds like he's just reading his lines with nothing behind them. And I don't know at what point it was that I was thinking to myself, do I really want to spend all this money, all this time, get all these people together and do this? Is it going to be worth it? I mean, it's a huge responsibility, and I'm not saying anything you probably don't already recognize, but so that was, I guess, a moment of sort of melancholy maybe. But in terms of the script itself, there's a lot of, as they say, laying the pipe in the beginning, a lot of exposition, getting set up, but I don't feel like it drags. And obviously, visually, I think that's going to help as it gets into it, and kind of the love story kicks in and the different dimensions, and we introduce Bubsy, and then the ending. I mean, I still like it. If I didn't, I would really be bummed. But I still think it's good. I don't think it's going to be that funny, but I do think that the funny parts are going to be funny. There's going to be some sight gags that I think are going to work. Some of the back and forth, the repartee, whatever the word is, repartee. But it's definitely not a comedy. When I rewrote it about the fifth time, I was saying, now I'm going to write a comedy, which is a horrible idea. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of genre. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. When we got done, and this will all be in the recording that everyone can watch if you're a Patreon person. I was and I'm not saying anyone was blowing smoke, so I'm not going to pretend that they all think it's the greatest thing ever, but I was gratified by the kind words. Reese and Brett sounded interested and like, yeah, this is the real deal. So hopefully that is the case. They had nice words for each other. So I don't know that a table read. I've only, this is the second one I've done full length of a whole script, and I don't know that they ever live up to your expectations. So they never as great as you think they might be, and they're certainly not as horrible as you think they could be. So I'll get more feedback from the actors. There turned out to be no crew on, which is fine. They can watch it if they want. But overall, I feel good. I'm not going to pull the plug by any means. Still a long ways to go. And so that's my immediate reaction following the table read. June 2nd, it is 10:33 Michigan time. And you'll be seeing a lot more of me and hopefully a lot more of the actors as we move ahead.